Hola, y'all. Okay, today's Spanish of the day is about el cambio climático, climate change. And look, I don't know about you, but this cannot be the same sun that I used to go outside and play in all day and only come back in the house one time, right? And you're not tripping because it actually is way hotter than it used to be. The storms are much worse. We already know about the pollen, and that is all due to el cambio climático. So let's look at some images and describe the weather in Espanol. Okay, the first one we have is, okay, hace calor. Remember, we don't say the H, so it's hace calor or hace mucho calor. Okay? All right, so at first glance, we would say hace frío, hace mucho frío, está nieve, right? It's cold, it's very cold, it's snowing. But I'm sure the people living there are probably like, this cannot be the same cold and snow that we used to play in all day, because it's actually getting warmer there too. And that's due to el cambio climático. Now look, I know you came here for a Spanish lesson, but I gotta take a second to get y'all caught up because this is a muy importante. This is a very important issue to both millennials and Gen Z. So much so that the White House just announced new protections against oil and gas drilling in 13 million acres of the Alaskan Arctic. And if you're like, well, I live in Atlanta, like, why do I care about the acres in Alaska? I feel you, but let me explain how this works, okay? So when the sun hits the earth, some of that heat is supposed to go back into space. But because of things like excessive oil and gas emissions, that heat gets trapped on Earth, which is why, yes, it's the same sun, but we're experiencing the heat and the cold at a different intensity. Our communities, our homes, our children, our animals, both in the Arctic and right here in Atlanta, y'all, we cannot afford for it to get any worse. So the Arctic restrictions for oil and gas drilling put a much needed check on big oil development so that it doesn't get any worse. Okay, y'all. So you may not have learned that much Spanish today, but I hope that you have learned something about our world. And let's keep supporting decisions that help make it a better one. Hasta luego.